It's the ABSA Roundtable on Sustainability in Business, part of the 2024 edition of the City Business Festival. My name is Ni Latte. Many thanks indeed for joining us one more time. Today, we are talking about building sustainable supply chains, and this conversation seeks to discuss how businesses can build a sustainable supply chain that supports the company's sustainability goals and enhances overall business performance. Three guests with me in studio today. On my immediate right is Timothina Bonsu. She is Product Trade and Working Capital Ghana. Next to her is Joshua Roxon, Head of Procurement at ABSA Bank Ghana as well. And then on my left is Emmanuel Mensah, Head Trade and Working Capital at ABSA Bank Ghana as well. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Energy at all. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, it's good to have you on this platform as well. Today we are talking about sustainable supply chain management. So we have the head of procurement here. We also have officers from the Trade and Working Capital Department at ABSA as well. So sustainable supply chain, purchasing, procurement, green procurement. Is that what you are talking about? How is the design made up? How do we design a sustainable supply chain management for the effective running of any serious organization?
Thank you very much, Ni. So it's quite simple, but requires a company to be deliberate about what they are intending to achieve. And to be deliberate, you need to understand your market segment and also the customers for whom you are seeking to offer your product or services. To start with, you need to definitely understand your processes to be able to deliver your product to your customers. And in processes, there are a number of things that you would be considering, which is your supply network design, your supply, ensuring supply risk, okay, and also your sustainability parameters to ensure that these products are delivered to those customers in those sustainable manner. To go further, you also need to plan as part of the processes. And in planning, you look at how you plan to make your product, how you plan to source your product, how you plan to deliver your product, and how you plan for the return of those products as part of reverse logistics. Because if there are any defects in what you have delivered, it has to be returned. Okay. And then we also plan to enable the execution of all these parameters. Now, beyond those processes,
you design, you plan, and then you execute.
Precisely. So after planning, you also need to understand what are those performance indicators that would enable you monitor all those processes that you've designed to deliver results and outcome to your end customer, okay? And those KPIs will look at both ESG requirement, your time taken to deliver, time taken to manufacture, the waste in your processes, and how you avoid them, okay? And also if you're making any cost savings in those processes. And then you move on further to look at what are those practices that would help you execute on those key processes. When we talk about practices, there are three key practices, which is emerging, standard, and what? Best practices. Are you as an organization going to be working with best practices or with emerging practices, which means that all the time you are changing, or with standard practices, which are those things that are just to have and to do, okay? And then you must also think about people. Important that you have the right skills in your organization to deliver on the outcomes that you are looking out for, and also training of people to upscale to offer service. And most importantly, and after everything, you must focus on how you enable the entire supply chain, which includes how you receive your payment, how you finance your processes, and then how you solution the various activities from a financial point of view in your supply chain.
As we were talking, I saw Timothina trying to take the words out of your mouth. So let me come to her. So Timothina, tell us, how does the supplier finance program align with ABSA's and sustainability objectives?
Okay, and at ABSA, we have a number of sustainability objectives that cover a number of facets, but I would want to hone in on two key ones. That is the financial inclusion, and then creating decent work and economic growth. If you look at our supplier finance program, the main aim is to sustain supplier relationships within the ecosystems of our clients. So key for us is to ensure that nobody is left behind within our clients' ecosystems. We are bringing all the players in there to be able to be financially capable to deliver on the objectives they have their contracts and obligations so that there are no breakages within the supply chain. Whilst we are doing this, we are creating decent work because these suppliers, local suppliers, SMEs that typically serve or solution these huge vendors or anchor clients within the sectors also employ people, they create employment, and their activities contribute to the development of our economy. As you are well aware, over 85% of SMEs make up the business population in Ghana. So they are the engine of growth, basically. And the Supplier Finance Program, what it seeks to do essentially is to accelerate their receivables by discounting these invoices that are due them from the anchors in those sectors so that they can have accelerated cash flows to continue their business and keep them running.
So how does this Supplier Finance Program that ABSA is embarking upon align with the ecosystem of your clients? I don't know if, Emmanuel, you want to take this one. Does it provide any sustainable framework when it comes to the ecosystem of your clients?
Yes, thanks, Nee, for the question. And it's basically, as Timosina has rightly said, looking at how are we able to support players within the ecosystem or the supply chain of these anchor. And here,
so these players you are talking about, which group of persons form the players?
So the players will start from micro, small, medium enterprises, largely when we talk about these corporates. So let's pick, for example, a manufacturing concern has people providing them with services, catering services. These are menial services that ensures the robustness of their production system. And so by being able to support them, and typically, maybe before I go on with it, typically these players have limited access to finance from the traditional lending mainstream practices that banks are known for. But with this Supplier Finance Program, it enables them to unlock capital that they have invested in providing these goods and services to these anchor clients and being able to continually provide that service. That ensures continuity, sustainability of these ecosystems that are within the various sectors. So that is what supply chain actually does in providing that access to financing, not only access to financing, but also looking at how easy they can access these financing. The other point is also leveraging on this program, and we typically look at co-creating with anchor corporates to see how they can even incentivize their players within that value chain in ensuring that activities that ends up with their production or the activities within their value chain are sustainable, are compliant with SGD goals, environmental, social governance goals that we as a bank have set for ourselves, and even the corporate who are also supporting players within their value chain.
So is it something that is only ABSA that is benefiting, or it intertwines with the various supply chains that we have in various aspects of the country, or to a broader extent, the overall economy of Ghana?
Yes, so I mean, there's interconnectivity in all these activities, and as ABSA, the essence of having the product is not to our benefit. Yes, we are using it to drive a common good for the community that we operate in, but it obviously cumulatively help stakeholders within the ecosystem, within the Ghanaian economy, to ensure that we are helping smaller businesses hitherto in the past will not be able to get access to the needed financing, to be able to get access to that, and also helping them that for you to get the access to this financing, which usually will come at a faster pace, at cheaper cost, you are also then responsible to ensure that your activities are aligned to the objectives set for these programs, and essentially driving the ESG agenda for both the corporate, for the bank, and for the SMEs themselves. Because once they are able to demonstrate that the activities are aligned to this, it also adds credit to their operations, thereby enabling them to build strong business cases for even investor support. We know that there are green investors around who are looking for opportunities to invest money, but in a responsible manner. This program then helps them leverage on such opportunities.
Still the ABSA Roundtable on the Sustainability in business as part of the City Business Festival. My name is Ni Lati Lati. We are talking about sustainable supply chains, and then ABSA is also talking about their supplier finance program, some great initiative they are talking about here on the platform. With me in studio are executives from ABSA Bank Ghana. We are wrapping up and we want them to just give us the call to action. ABSA, what is your message to the business community? You've spoken a lot about this finance program.
Right.
How can other businesses tap into it?
Okay, so in light of the sustainability agenda we want to drive, our call to action is really simple. We are inviting and calling all the corporates that operate within the Ghanaian ecosystem to join us as we co-create an enabling environment, right, for financial inclusion, where we don't leave anyone behind. Irrespective of your size as a corporate, you can participate or get enough capital to start your business and run it efficiently within the supply chain. And we can't do this alone as a business, so we are calling on all the corporates to join us so that together we can empower Africa's tomorrow together, one story at a time.
Well, ABSA says they are not selfish, so other businesses should come on board, right? Okay, I want to give 60 seconds each, concluding remarks to Emmanuel and then also the head of procurement. So Emmanuel, first 60 seconds.
Yeah, thanks. I think I would like to highlight one key importance of this sustainability linked to supply financing. And we know that increasingly consumers are becoming very conscious of products that are ESG linked and all that. And even for businesses to ensure they are competitive, they are profitable, I mean, they need to launch on this opportunity, co-create with us, especially the export businesses, because you are competing on the global market, and there might be the need for you to ensure that you are working or operating in a sustainable manner to drive and enhance your visibility, the visibility of your product on the market.
Joshua, what do you have to add to this?
No, I think for me it's quite simple. It's just to invite almost all the companies we work with in the communities to follow our journey on sustainability. Strive to also comply with the key requirements, but also to watch out for some of the key things that we are working on. We have a keen interest in working with women-owned businesses, a keen interest in working with youth-owned businesses. So there are a lot of things that we are going to be looking at as we evolve on our journey, and we invite these suppliers to also tag along. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That's Joshua Roxon, Head of Procurement, ABSA Bank Ghana. Earlier, you heard Timotina Bonsu, Product Manager, Trade and Working Capital at ABSA Bank Ghana. So, plus Emmanuel Mensah, he's in fact the Head of the Trade and Working Capital Department at ABSA Bank. Thank you so much for this conversation. And we have been talking about sustainable supply chains. We've delved into how it's designed, how businesses can also ensure that they are being environmentally and socially responsible with their procurement and purchasing as well. This has been the ABSA Roundtable on the sustainability and business part of the 2024 edition of the City Business Festival. We have more in store for you. Do stay with us. My name is Ni Lati Lati. Thank you for your time.